Hello, class. My name is Daniel Cardenas, and I'm here to talk about the death penalty. I'm not in favor of the death penalty. I think the death penalty should get eradicated. We all know that killing is without a doubt wrong. So why are people of the law allowed to sign the death penalty sentence? They are no different from the offender. There is no reason in this world that can justify taking someone else's life. Personally, I know someone back home who were given the death sentence for a crime that didn't even include murder. The death penalty is the most inhumane punishment that I've ever heard of, and the most inhumane of all time, and the one in history. It's been the death sentence, whether it be chop your head off, lethal injection, electric chair, etc. The death penalty is ineffective. First, we need to understand why the death penalty was implemented. It is implemented to deter other people than committing a crime and to punish the offender. The death penalty does not aid in decrease of crimes in the country. According to Australian Broadcasting Corporation news site, they say that there is credibly evidence that supports the death penalty that deters crimes. From ABC News, 2018, March 5. In fact, since Canada abolished the death penalty in 1976, the murder rate in Canada has been declining. That comes to prove that death penalty is not really effective. And as of 2016, their murder rate has been its lowest since 1966. Also, countries with death penalty still implemented the FBI and have found the countries that are ones with the highest murder rates. So where there is death penalty, it's higher. So I think that only motivates people, I'm guessing. According to Amnesty International, July 14, 2017, they have the highest murder rates where there is death penalty, studies given. With it being ineffective, it also is a waste of money. According to ACLU.org, the case against death penalty, they say that the death penalty is a waste of taxpayer funds and it serves as no protection to the public. And that being said, the law enforcement was surveyed and they ranked the death penalty the lowest punishment to reduce crimes, like the lowest solution to punishment. Now we understand how ineffective and waste of money it is. It's also irreversible. Humans are allowed to make mistakes, as so God said. That's fine as long as we learn from the mistakes, correct? It also poses a threat that an innocent person might die. As long as the death penalty is still implemented in other countries, they will always run the risk for killing an innocent person. Take, for example, George Stinney Jr., we all know this study, wrongfully accused of a murder at age 14, received the death penalty and was executed, and that was the end of the story. He was guilty, and 70 years later, they found out that he wasn't guilty. Imagine he would have been 84 years old and he would have been released. Imagine the trauma that he's been framed, and finding out he's innocent. That's very terrible. And this was written in an article from 2014, August 28. According to the Death Penalty Info Center, since 1973, more than 170 people were wrongfully convicted and sentenced to death in the United States. Now has exonerated, and it's clear that such justice system, death penalty, is still in no place, and the risk for innocent people losing their life is still pretty huge. Death Penalty Info Center. I got this from the Death Penalty Info Center from 2020, October 23rd. Now we understand how terrible a death penalty is. What can replace this punishment, you might ask? The correct name for prison is correctional facilities. How can someone pay for their crimes if you are on death row? In their mind, that's easy way out. That's the easy way out. The best solution to eradicate the death penalty is to replace it with imprisonment without possibility of parole, which you cannot leave the prison. Absolutely no risk of executing an innocent person. This gives the innocent person a choice to fight their freedom back in courts, etc. It allows for a search of new evidence to prove the innocence of the accused person, according to Death Penalty Info Center. It saves more taxpayer money, which can be used elsewhere, making communities much safer and funding the police instead of defunding the police. Help people in need so they don't resort to crime, and so on. To live, it can be used to compensate for victims who may have lost their breadwinner, according to Vicky Schieber in 2016, June 20th. And to conclude my speech, it's time for the death penalty to be abolished and replaced with life imprisonment without parole, because that would be a much better option. The death penalty is the most inhumane punishment I've ever heard of in a correctional facility has to offer. The punishment has proven to be ineffective, and the risk of killing an innocent life is very big, and it's too great to even be there in the first place. The world is evolving, and so is time for such a harsh punishment to be no more existent. I don't want it to be existent. Again, there's no reason that justifies taking someone else's life. It's not worth sitting yourself for another man's mistake. Thank you.